second gear. 30. Oh. Yeah. Track mode is the way to go. Gotta get on it again. Oh yeah. Hey guys, welcome to Red 50. So in today's video, we're gonna be testing out the track mode on my Mustang. Believe it or not, I've had this Mustang for over 4 years. I have never tried out the track mode. Solely the reason being because I had the stock Pirellis and they were not good with traction. So I never got to really try them out. And I recently got these Michelin Pilot Sport tires last year. So I did try out the track mode on the drag strip, but that was obviously on a prep surface. I have not tried it out on just regular streets. Because obviously with the track mode, the traction control is off. So if you don't have good tires, you're not only going to be spinning, but you could also endanger people around you, which is obviously not what you want. So now that I have these good tires with good traction, today the weather is also a little bit warm. So we're going to go ahead and try out the track mode on the Mustang. If you didn't know, if you have a 301A and up Mustang, you do get a lot of different modes, the track mode, drag mode, even like a snow and wet mode. So all those modes are good. But I actually normally drive it in sport mode. So today I'm excited to see how the track mode really is, not only just for flat out acceleration, but also if I was to daily drive in track mode, how the throttle response is, how the rev matching downshifts are they any different than sport mode? Like what would be really benefit of using the track mode on this Mustang compared to, like, let's say sport or sport plus mode. But yeah, let's go ahead and get out on the road and try the track mode on my Mustang GT. Alright, so I'm going to turn into track mode now. Oops. There we go. Exhaust is track. You can see the traction control is off now. So let's drive around to see how the throttle feels. And the one thing about the sport mode is that I feel like the throttle seems a little snappy compared to normal mode, which is, I like it when I'm driving it, but I think for track use, I would imagine you want it to be linear throttle. So I'm expecting that to definitely change. Oh, it keeps going. It definitely is a less snappier, which is a good thing because that's how you want it to be on the track mode. Or if you're at the track, you don't want it to be too sensitive. Very linear power band compared to, because I feel like the 2000, 3000 RPM builds up naturally, whereas in sport mode, I feel like it just goes so fast. Let's see the downshifts. The downshifts I would probably say are similar to what you would get in sport mode. They're snappy as you would expect them to be. Gotta get on it again. Oh yeah. Very quick upshifts, really good downshifting. I like the track mode. As long as you get the traction, it's pretty good. The biggest change I noticed is the throttle response is very linear compared to the Sport Plus or Sport mode. I kind of like it. And then the downshifts are what you would expect as well. As soon as you hit the brake, you will downshift, which is what you want on the track. You're at a track, the turn is coming up, you hit the brakes. You want it to rev match, get you in the right gear, and that's what it does with the track mode, as the name implies. And I think as long as you have good tires, like the one I have, Michelin Pilot Sport All Season 4, if you have PS4, even better, which is a summer tire, despite the traction control being off, it will still hold really good. I'm still afraid to gun it from a dig because I feel like then I'm definitely gonna have traction issues. But so far, everything, I kind of like the track mode. I probably wouldn't run it on a daily just because there's just way too many variables, and I would not want to lose traction even if it's like raining or the ground is a little bit wet. You want the traction control on for your Mustang driving. I would hate to be that guy. First gear to second, it just like lurches the car forward. So yeah, can you daily drive it in track mode? I think yes. Like, it's not just all out track mode basically. The only downside is obviously the traction is off, so the car is gonna do its Mustang thing, so you have to know the car well. Otherwise, just giving normal braking, normal acceleration, everything feels like it's pretty normal. Nothing really where you would kind of feel like, okay, you're driving a track car on a street. I do like the car feels a little bit lighter in the track mode. I don't know, obviously I don't have the Magna right, but it feels a little different, which in a way, I don't know, it's hard to describe it, but I kind of like how it feels. So now I'm going to also test out the paddle shifter modes. Or actually, there's a red light coming up. So what we're gonna do, maybe not floor it from the dig, but get into the second gear and then floor it. And then also test out the paddle shifter modes. There's this car right behind me, and then there's a car in front of me. Third gear, might as well. Third gear goes. The power band is just so linear. It's the same car, everything. I think the way they tuned the track mode on this Mustang specifically, really good. I'm digging the throttle response and everything. Car just feels lighter. I just don't know how to describe it. Car feels lighter, even though I don't have Magna right. There's something with the track tuning or how the throttle is feeling that's making me think that the car feels lighter, even though it's not. So now we have a clearer shot, so we're gonna activate the paddles. Oh, one thing I noticed actually, unlike sport mode or sport mode here, the paddles actually revert back, so now I'm not using the paddle shifters. I have to reactivate them. That's something I actually don't like, because in sport mode, or when the shifter is in S mode at least, it will remain in paddle shifter mode. So even if you come to a stoplight, it's gonna be there. But I think with this one, if you're not actively using the pedals for a little bit, it will revert back to the standard automatic shifting. All right, let's go ahead. Yeah, second gear, 30. Yeah, track mode is the way to go. It just hooks. I was not expecting that. That was very smooth power band, really good. Just wants to go, wants to go. This is, oh man, that was amazing. That was amazing. So traction is not an issue. I'm pretty sure if I try from dig, that's gonna be a little problematic. But if you're like 20-30 miles per hour, I think you should be fine. In terms of the throttle response, everything seems to be linear. Braking is normal, like these downshifting, like nothing where it's, I can't daily drive it. Now it is worth highlighting, of course, that the traction control is off, and I just cannot emphasize this enough. If you don't have good tires, don't have the right set of tires, you know, running summer tires in winter or winter tires in summer, I would not recommend this, because the traction control is off. It's very dangerous. We know how Mustangs behave, and that's the last thing you want. So if you've got good tires, you can easily run the yeah, if you've got good tires, you can easily run the track mode. You just have to be careful giving a throttle from the stoplight. If it's raining, I would not recommend it at all. Otherwise, it's actually very fun to drive it in track mode, good traction and everything. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm gonna try the other modes as well to see how they feel. I mainly use a sport mode on this car. I'm kind of curious how, with these tires that actually have some traction, how does it work, and if the tires are actually gonna hook and you actually get a And what really changes, I'm sure if I had magnet right, a lot of things would change, but since I don't, the only thing is being changed is throttle response and how the transmission shifts. So it's interesting to see how all the modes behave. So make sure you are subscribed to Red 50 for future videos where I will be testing out all the different modes.